Testing, testing. We're good, we're good. Yes, it was the mime version. Was it? Was it the mime version? Yes, it was the mime version. Let's start over. Hey, Christy and Garrett and Kevin and Shane and Rob and John. We'll switch here for a second. And the camera stopped following me too. That's funny. So, what I was saying is I'm working with a new toy here that sometimes loses its mind, but the new toy is a gimbal that has face tracking. And then I'm trying to figure out what the new arrangement of my cameras should be so that you can see more of the process, since I was told by Earl, who visited the week before last, that he would love to see more of the process, as in going from forge to anvil, which means I think that I end up relocating that table again over to my right side again. That way you can actually see that transition. But that didn't happen this morning. It'll happen after this live stream. And but you got hopefully to see some of the setup I'm doing here. I don't have a stable floor here, so I ended up getting some bricks underneath. I should say a level floor. So I got some bricks underneath the stand and two legs to deal with the fact that it's high on one side, so that I can work on another thing here in a minute. I'll share. Let's go back to the anvil. Cover some old ground here that you guys didn't get to hear. And that is, this was Earl's work last week. I think it came out really well. Got himself a nice little scroll and a functional bottle opener in the hour that we basically had to work, because I had to cut out early to go see Beetlejuice. Excellent show, by the way. It was a lot of fun. And I'm still not used to looking at this camera instead of that camera. We'll figure that stuff out as time goes on, too. But we're going to set this aside and take it back in with us when we go in today. Like I said, I'll be rearranging the shop before I go in, but I have this project, the monthly Blacksmith Challenge project, piece of angle iron. And the angle iron specification was it has to be less than 2 inches by 2 inches. So there you have it. It's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. It's the only angle iron I happen to have around. So that's what we're working with. And I'm going to go with the simple project. I thought about doing this when it was suggested that we work with angle iron, because I never made one of these. So I went and watched Black Bear Forge, John Switzer, make one. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we'll just go ahead and fill you in. It's going to be a turkey or pheasant feather. This is about the right size, and then I'll take and turn the quill end into a hook. And so there we go. Put a feather in my on my wall. Having completed that fundamental beginner blacksmith kind of effort. So first thing I think I'm going to do, though, is I don't think the quill needs to be any more than about this long to make a decent hook. So I'm going to just cut it off right here. I'm actually thinking about taking it all the way out to this other hole, mainly because I don't, I don't know what I would do with a short piece with a little hole on it anyway. And we'll chuck it into the vise and get it cut off. Give me a chance to switch over there. Of course, I don't think that camera is even set up. That is correct. It is not. So we're going to go to this camera. We're going to point that away, that away. We're going to switch this on here. Yeah. There we go. We're going to say that we're going to go back over here. I'm going to get everything in Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to hit that. Hey, Ben. I mean, coal dust, iron, scale. I don't know how dirty you want me to talk. Uh-oh. Am I having a problem with sound? Oh, no, I'm not underwater. You're probably hearing the forge in the background. Yeah, I just got that gimbal. It's fun. Of course, it doesn't always know where my face is. There we go. And it's going to lose its mind in a minute because I'm actually going to probably turn off face tracking for a minute because my cameras are going to interfere with each other. A gimbal. You're welcome, Ben. Ew. All right. That right in there. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm about out of juice. I hope I have another battery. Let me see. Yep, I do. I got lucky. I was going to tell about how it fell on my foot and everything. It didn't get to do that. I mean, it just fell out of my foot. All right. Now, next stops. Let's go back over here. Let's get the camera where it needs to go now. I'm going to do a bit of drawing on this thing, I think. Let's see if I can actually pull that off. So, there we go. The things I know is I only need something like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, roughly. Then over here, like that. Like I said, super simple project. The real question is, do I want to chisel that out? Or do I want to use the band bandsaw to cut it out. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with simplest solution, or I should say most expedient solution, and see about how hard it's going to be to make the bandsaw work for me. It's not a upright bandsaw to make it easy to move it through it and all that kind of stuff. It's portable, and I think it's going to present you know what? I already know it won't work. Let me just show you why. And the reason why is simple. It's this piece right here. That piece right there, I'm sure, is some sort of, keep Jack from doing something stupid component. And I would end up cutting through. This right here would probably go just fine. Thinking about it. This up here, the quill, would get lost in there. So we're going to chuck this into the fire, and we're going to get her smashed down. Not smashed too much, but you know what I mean, flattened in some way. But what's neat about this, for anybody who's not Smith, never really looked at angle iron before, is there's more material right here. This is what we like to think of as an upset corner in blacksmithing, because we actually push more material into that corner, so you have that nice squared off corner rather than something more radiused. Now, all edges on angle iron is a little radiused, but I think that's just a thing they do on, for aesthetics. I don't know. There's probably some good reason for it. Maybe it moves through the forming system better with rounded edges than straight ones. That's probably the most likely reason. If we were smithing this, we would start with flat bar, and we would move the material back into itself to be able to get that more mass there. Well, now I can actually take advantage of that mass to do something interesting. And it turns out I didn't need to work so hard to... Let's go ahead and get this one fired up. Hey, look at that. But, as I have no air for that one, I haven't opened that up at all. There we go. Now we're burning with oxygen. Got two burners going. Shove this deeper. That's what she said. Into the fire. Try not to catch my glove on fire. All right. I'm going to watch the plastic behind the forge, make sure I'm not seeing it bubble and buckle. That would be a bad thing. Hello, I'm over here. Thank you. All right, let's do this real quick. I'm going to figure out how to swap those two. The folks who sold this on TikTok called the module AI, and I'm like, okay, it's definitely computer vision, which I guess is an AI, but it's not the smartest computer vision. All right, scrolling back. I have given it a little thought, Eric, but like I said, I think that protect Jack from stupidity piece on there would make it a pretty ineffective upright bandsaw. I actually am going to get an upright bandsaw out here. I just need to find one. Hey, granddads! How's it going there, Rob? Rob 2? Or are we up to 3 in here now? Yeah, I mean, they're the same thing, Kevin. You choose what part of that view you enjoy the most, and you call it that cam. Hey, Eric. Ben caught it. Yeah, I mean, I went easy this time, Rob. I have some brilliant ideas of what to do with angle iron now because I gave it some real thought about, what I can do. I don't have the material right now for it, and don't really have the time to go get the material for it. It needs to be a much smaller bit of angle iron. And I realized I've never made one of these feathers, and so it's time for me to, do this beginner blacksmithing project that I just haven't done yet. The piece doesn't look like it comes off very easily, Eric. So I've mounted this in the vise before to try and do some kind of work like that. What I see here is they've kind of, I have to do, I think, a pretty serious disassembly. I could be wrong. It could be easier than I think, but it looks like I'm not showing you the right piece. Let's get over here. It looks like this thing is kind of built into all the rest of this, such that getting it off of there might be more difficult than I think. As difficult as I think, more difficult than one might think. But I could be wrong. It could be as simple as take off this plate, which is basically a push plate, a way to keep the material steady while you're working on it, cutting through it. It could be as simple as take out these 4 screws and then it comes out, but I'm not sure. And I want an upright bandsaw anyway, so it seems like more effort than it's worth, and that should just remain my what it is, my portable bandsaw, aka an electric hacksaw. All right, let's get ourselves out a hammer. Hammers are useful for this. We're going to need a rawhide mallet. I'll set that onto the secondary. We don't need this after all. Get it out of my way. Let's grab this and give it a little tappity tap tap. Whew, that's hot. Some of you might have noticed I at first wanted to go at it from the upset corner, and then I realized that would be bad. I'd be really wasting that upset corner if I kept hitting it with the hammer. I got the rawhide mallet out for that reason too, but we'll come back to that in a bit. All right. So then I switched to hitting it just inside and outside of that spot to avoid damaging that upset corner. Taking a feel of the wood and the plastic that's behind the forge, and it's actually in good shape. So that's good. However, I did knock the brick back here, so I'm going to give it a little tappity tap back into place. There we go. And I'm going to need this chisel, so I'm going to keep it in my hand. grab my beer holder, quench can holder. All right. Good, good, good. Now, while that's going on, I'm going to see if I can do something about these. Sources. No. Just going to go right over here. Look like a crazy fool. Move some stuff around. Digitally, that is. We're going to go here, and we're going to go rename corner cam. Rename main cam. Change it to iPhone. Hit OK. Change it to FaceTime. OK. Look, Ben, you get to watch old people play with tech again. It's your favorite, I know. Here, we're going to scale the hell out of that. And done. Back over there. Back to there. Old people are cute, I know. Switch to that. Look at that. Now we have a view that follows me when I'm talking to a camera. Yay. It really does keep me in the center of the frame. Of course, then I have the fact that I'm not actually center frame, so I might have to adjust that a little bit and then make myself center frame. That's an easy enough thing to do, I think. Yes, it is. Let's do that. Go ahead and transition again. What you up to, Bruce? We're going to have to close something. Sun decided to come out and make everything harder for me to see. There we go. That should do the trick. Ah! Yes. Awesome. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. It's in a gas forge. If it can burn, I'd be shocked. So, now we can come back over here. We can hit this. And continue what we were doing. That is some hot stuff to work on. I've never felt material feel so hot while I'm working on it before. I'm going to start singing like Michael Jackson here in a second. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's flip it over, or flip it around and get the last bit done. Wow, a lot of, there you go. I got dirty for you, Ben. I don't know, did I just try to poke you in the eye? Hello, camera. There you go. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. That's funny. I messed up the other camera view. I forgot that I had these cameras reused in different places. So, we go over here, sources, top right, that looks about right. Let's try that. Hey, look at that. We're back to it to showtime now. Did I mess up the other one now? That's funny if I did. No, I didn't. All right, good, good. And that's right. All right. Look at that. Got to get that piece of rawhide off the ground before Bruce decides it's a chew toy. But that is pretty close to where I need it to be. So this will be the side that goes against the wall. It needn't have the prominent spine, even though feathers typically are spine, they're very thin, so they look. The quill goes all the way up through on both sides. We don't need to see that. Do just a little bit more on that, and then we'll call that done. Now supposedly, yep, there we go. One of the reasons I bought this is these are replaceable. And so I'm gonna see about turning these a little bit so that they stay in place better. I suspect, like any leather, if I were to wet them, they would also swell a bit and fit in there nicely. There's that. Because they are pretty dried out. Now, I want my wrench. I know I have two of them. There it is. Try not to bend in front of the fire in such a way as to catch hair on fire. Hair on fire is not a good look. Speaking of Michael Jackson. All right, that's back in place real nice. Oh, you stupid, stupid camera. All the camera stuff you learned from me is going to be useless to you, huh, Kevin? Oh well. There's scale, plenty pumping off this stuff. This particular mallet is for what you're seeing right now. It's got enough heft behind it that it's being able to actually move the metal without actually harming the metal's shape that exists there. Spin it around. Work on the other side just a little bit more. Almost done with needing to have the two burners, I think. Could be wrong. But boy, does this thing pop off a lot of scale. I don't know what that says about the metal, but it's a lot of scale. Hello, camera. Over here. There you go. Yeah, this camera, I don't know if I'm just standing too close to it or what. It could just be that. It could be that it works better further away. It also could be I turn my back to it from time to time and it gets lost. But that doesn't seem to be really an issue. So I have a suspicion it's just a matter of I'm trying to make it do stuff in too tight a space. I'm going to try something else real quick here while I can. I was trying to position it to be somewhere close to where the chat is. So I'm still working on this one. Oh, it helps if you take off the charger before you go starting to move your phone around. There we go. Oh, yep, I know. I very much confused you at this point. All right. Let's see if that keeps up with me better. Yeah, I suspect that's actually going to work better. But I'm going to end up moving all that, and then it'll be over there with that. So we'll get it, make it work. It'll all work. I don't think it's my head that's the problem. It's, I got problems with my head, but that's a different conversation. That's a hearse of a different curler. Now I'm going to tell you what, and as Garrett would say, as she's sitting there prompting me, what you going to tell me? The answer is simple. I done told you what. This is the first time I've forged anything on this anvil that I wasn't chiseling right on top of, that I thought to myself, man, a glove would be useful now. All right, there we go. Now for the chiseling part. Let's go out and let's do some layout lines. That was fun. Anybody else see that? Of course not, because I'm not on the right screen. Dummy. Did you learn from that, Kevin? Whew, that's hot. Yep, it's time for a glove. This is one of my particularly long, let's get some of this heat off of me. There we go. This is one of my particularly long chisels compared. Oop, get back here. Now, this could be done with just a cut straight across, but because I have a nice rounded chisel, I can give it a little bit of a turn as I'm going, and then we can finish the rounding later with some forging. And it hit the floor. There we go. Did the camera lose me? It did, but it caught back up again. Yeah, so I think that location is better than where I was. All right. Let's see about laying in lines for the other side. Come on, don't go moving on me. Probably need to heat it up and make sure that part's flat so it's not rocking as I'm trying to do all this. Leather shoes, so you know, is the smart way to go. For the same reason we wear a leather apron and blue jeans or other natural materials. The turkeys are all telling me I'm doing it wrong. And with these layout lines, I can see why. It'll all smooth out when I'm done, because I'm not working anything hard right now. I mean, I'm not hitting too hard right now. I want to make sure I got it where I want it. That's better. All right. It's time for me to put some ear protection in. This is hurting my ears. I mean, Kevin, don't we all? Prevents chafing, right? What the heck happened to my camera? Hello, camera. Camera. I'm up here. How did it break my view? What the heck? That was weird. It's like the gimbal basically turned itself off. There we go. Nope, over here. Yeah, there you go. Come on. There we go. Okay, so first things first. Let's get this thing not rocking off of my anvil. We'll just treat it like we're beveling a blade. All right, that's better. I think I'll do that for the rest of it too.
That was exciting for you all. Little big deal. Right, Kevin? Lowered my microphone. Oh, I know what happened. It switched mics on me, didn't it? Let's fix that. Let's fix that. How do I tell it which mic we're talking about? Really? Properties, device,
Microphone. That's better. It switched to my microphone, and that's not surprising, but not what we're going for. So, thanks for the note there, Jeff. Let's get the tip of this feather cut off. Oh no, that's right. First, making sure that I'm not gonna continue to struggle. So we'll go here. Give some. Try to hold on to the hammer for crying out loud. Glancing blows off the side. Do the same thing on the other side. Give it a little more support than that, Jack. All right. Then from the back side, we'll try to get her straightened back out again. All right. That is, I think, nope. We're close. We're close to the point where it isn't going to tip on me every time I try to hit it. Let's flip it around and do the other side too. All right, Rob, well, I appreciate you stopping in anyway. See, so I know exactly what's going on there, and I don't know that there's a good solution. So you can either have me use my mics that are in my earbuds, which I'm happy to do, and that has noise canceling. Or I use, and it's built in, right? That's nice. It depends on how good it sounded. So if it sounded really good, I'm happy to use the earbuds instead of using the lavalier mic. So let me switch back over to properties. Instead of using the external mic, let's go ahead and use the AirPod. So we got that. Now we're going to go ahead and turn it up a bit because you said it was not quite loud enough. There we go. Now I'm louder. Let's see how it sounds when I hit something. It's not bad. And you don't have forge noise. You also don't have bird noise or any of the other stuff going on, but you don't have forge noise. So that's, possibly a nicer experience for y'all. You let me know, because all I really want to do is make sure you folks are having a pleasant time. Well, I'm also having a pleasant time.
Pleasant time roasting my hands over an open angle iron. All right, now it feels like it's going to lay. Yep, not going to slide around my anvil anymore. Rock on my anvil as I'm trying to cut it. All right, back into the forge. Turn this one off. Don't need it while I'm heating just the smaller area. Put the fire brick back so it can be the ledge that I need. There we go. What you doing, Bruce? How you doing, buddy? You enjoying your morning out with me? He gets so excited. He knows exactly the right attire I'm putting on, what day it is maybe, I don't know. But he knows when it's Sunday and it's time to go outside. There we go. That's a better place for it, I think. Let's get it out here and start nipping off the tip. Just call me your blacksmithing choil. Now, this is not where I will cut it through. We'll get most of the way there and then see if I can knock it off. By just, bending it over the edge. And I should be able to see from the edge of where I'm working how close I am to getting it to that point. Let's take a look. We're getting close, and I do have a cutting shelf here, but I have no way to hold it on the cutting while I'm working on the cutting shelf. So that is why typically they break out a piece of metal that acts as a cutting shelf on the face ear anvil. You got to hit the like button. All right. I do appreciate that, Kevin. I will say, you guys me showing up, maybe you guys showing up. I don't know. One of us showing up regularly has resulted in a few random people showing up every now and then too. So this used to be formed explicitly to go over my Trenton anvil. We'll go ahead and set it on here now. Oh, my forge is preheated. I'll tell you that right now. Probably wasn't actually. I mean, it is warm. Oh yeah, that's warm. That angle iron takes some heat, man. I had no idea. I mean, it's basically what, 1/8" plate steel, but still, I'm just being extra cautious now because I don't think I was going to go through, but you know what they say about best laid plans. That's getting pretty freaking close. All right, let's see if I can snap that off. There it is. Yay! One side done. Back into the fire. Let's do the other one. That is some hot stuff. Let's use the other hand for that, huh? First rule of blacksmithing. That all metal is hot thing. Might hold some merit there. Let's get this piece of hot metal up off the ground before Bruce steps on it. That's the problem with Shop Dog. He doesn't understand that first rule of blacksmithing. My ice anvil's gonna melt. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, this glove got too close to the fire. I can't put my finger into the pinky hole anymore. It's shriveled. Whoopsie daisy. That camera's still following me. A little creepy, but it works. I would like to set it up like literally right behind the Mac. So I'm going to work on that. And that way, when I'm looking down at the chat, I'm looking closer to where the camera is. Have that personal connection, you know? All right. Let's work on the next piece. Good old-fashioned blacksmithing. Oh, nothing like having a piece of scale pop off at your face. All right, let's see if I actually got close enough in one go. Wouldn't that be great? No, not quite. Close. Actually, yep, there we go. Cool, cool, cool. I'll just round that, round that. One of the things, okay, so I did this sort of on purpose. You're seeing it here. One of the things I've often noticed anytime I pick up any of the feathers is they have a bit of a bend to them. And so I'm trying to, you know, make that impression. I could do what is typically done with these, and that is file work to knock off the rag that I created. I also feel that there's enough material that I might be able to just forge it in. I'm not trying to make anything structural in that part of the hook. Hans Groff. I have to remember who that is. I've now forgotten. The name sounds familiar, but I've decided on what my next project needs to be, and it could have been done with angle iron. Yeah, darn it. Probably still will be. I'll probably do it next week. I need a place to put my chisels. And I realize I've got this great way of putting my hammers up. Let me bring in this camera. Yeah, here we go. Come on. Yeah, I'm just looking at the wrong place. Okay. I've got this great way of hanging up my hammers, right? By having this fascia board that I stuck on this table that I made. It'd be easy enough to create angle iron, an angle iron holder. Easy enough. Easy enough. I gotta think about that term. Easy enough. Yes, I'm right. It would be easy enough. Um, anyway, using angle iron, I think, I got to think through what I'm thinking here. Create a holder here that I just drop the chisels into. Um, not like with holes and stuff like that. Um, just a big, long thing that they could sit in. I've got to think through that. You know. But I don't like seeing my chisels laying on the table, as they are right now on the bench. I had them in this can, but they were outgrowing the can anyway. Now I just reheated the tip, and I can't quite remember why I was heating the tip, just the tip. Oh, that's right. It was to forge in the rag. And there we have it. Rag is formed in. Go ahead and start knocking down the sharpness of that spine. Obviously don't want it flat, but I don't want it to be pointy either. All right. Now we need to chisel away that part on both sides. So, flip around. Oh, I need to look up. Okay, got it. Let me go pull up the Tubes Day U. Uh-oh. I got a message when I wasn't looking, or is it spam? It's spam. So today, if the stream is not as good as it usually is, it may be because I'm using my iPad instead of my phone as as the internet, and that way I could use the phone as camera. All right, YouTube. How would I not already have? Hey, look at that! I'm live. Hans Garage. Oh, okay. No, I have Charming Hollow Forge. I just didn't remember the name. Yep, I'm subscribed. I didn't realize the fellow's name was Hans. Very good. I'll go back and watch some of his videos on to see if I can catch the one you're speaking of. The I know what I'm talking about. The headdress. That'd be cool to see. And it's lost me again. There we go. It is. It's getting too close. That's the problem. Pump you up. It's had jittery moments. Okay, that's what I've been wondering. Um, I also wonder if where I have the iPad makes a difference. Since I had it directly underneath um, the Mac. Yeah, I see the KPP kilobits per second. You're dropping and bouncy all over the place. So Donnie Sharko hammer. Oh, that's cool. All right. That is going to be hot. Let's see what we can do here. It is so hot. Like I said, it's made the pinky finger melted. I am almost certain this is the right way to make the bottom of the feather go. But there's a part of me second guessing myself, which sucks. I think I went and saw Trey Crowder last night, and I think he had a good point. Smart people have a lot of self-doubt. You want to talk to the most self-assured person in the world? Go talk to an idiot. You know who I'm talking about, like your conspiracy theory cousin. Who's got it all figured out. And if you guys don't know Trey Crowder, you're missing out on one of the most fun minds of our time. I won't say most brilliant. He wouldn't call himself that, but I do think he is actually pretty smart. This might be the hardest part of cutting this out. All right, let's get it back in the fire. All right. Mr. Brunel was in here a long time before he was at the beginning of the stream, Ben. He just decided to keep quiet because, you know, he figures those who open their mouths prove it. Trey Crowder, I'm sure is who he was talking about, Ben. For those who don't know how to spell, that's TraeCrowder. There's been a couple of books he and his mates have written. It's called, the first one is, oh hell, what's it called? Ow, I'm losing it. I know they go by if I could remember it, then I would remember the book. Well-Read Comedy Tour. I think their first book was named Well-Read something or other. And that would be R-E-D, by the way. Trey refers to himself as liberal redneck. And man, does he hit on a whole lot of my own experiences, having spent some formative years in rural Indiana. Yeah, see, Johns knows what's what. I don't know, Ben. Try not to hit the fingers. They've finally healed. Definitely burning up the glove, though. Let's see it smoking. Whew. Dang, that thing's hot. I'm not touching it either. It's just that freaking hot. Uh-oh. Really? Oh, no. I need to update my reminder. All right. Back into the fire. This thing's a whole lot easier to hit when it's burning my glove hot. Or I should say cut through. Lay flat, dang nabbit. Yeah, this pair of gloves is going to be ruined by the time this is done. Well, this left one will be. I need to snooze that. We go to not 11:30 now, not 11, Jack. You need to update your clock. Hello, phone. Over here. Hey, look at that. You guys weren't seeing any of the fun stuff anyway, because I'm an idiot. Third is I don't know. Oh, I thought I don't know was third base. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know is on third, I thought. Look at that. It's correct. And what I'm talking about is the fact that I actually updated Stream Elements to notify when this show starts. All right. This is taking a lot longer than I expected. I'm going to need a longer chisel if I'm going to do much more of this kind of stuff. Wrong hammer, Jack. Dummy. Just, grab whatever hammer's laying around. Okay. There we go. No rocking around now. Yeah, Jeff Dunham's um, uh, remix, yeah, of that with was it Pee Wee? No, Peanut. I think it was Peanut. I think that was very clever. Um, uh, yeah, the password one. Yeah, the Wi-Fi password. That was very clever, in my opinion. To the way that he did it was pretty clever, in my opinion. I mean, it's a rehash. I get it, but I enjoyed it too. It is indeed a classic. One should always steep folks in the classics. It's the history of how we got where we are. I think that's a lot of what's missing today in the youth. I just having conversations with my 24-year-old. Um, what often gets lost in the mix, and I get it. I really understand the youthful, because I was there. Obviously, still can remember that far back. But the youthful vigor surrounding things that don't seem right, that seem unjust, um, is that there's a history that got us to where that is, and that when you look at that history, you recognize, well, it's more just than it ever was, and there is more work to do. And similarly, if an action is currently being taken, we'll talk the little bit of politics I'm willing to talk about, which is not to give a statement one way or the other on how I stand on it. Pretty sure everybody can understand how I stand on it. But the funding of Israel's defense. Um, there are those who feel very strongly we shouldn't be funding Israel's defense, and I think there's many reasons um, that folks might be right on that topic, but that there's a history that goes along with that funding, and it, you have to take the context of history in with what people are doing today, and recognize they aren't doing it in support of an unjust cause. Um, there's just other things going on, and so yeah, definitely steep your kids on the classics. Get them to recognize the value of understanding history. I know as a kid, I was not a fan of history. I thought that shit's in the past. Why do I care? Um, and I still fall prey to that sometimes. My wife was telling me about the Columbine um, uh, bombing. Has a movie about it now, and I'm like, I don't know why I would need to watch that because that's in the past. But it kind of helps in understanding where we are today with the behaviors of paying attention to what's in the past, right? So the past echoes. It doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it definitely echoes. And it's not just in the past. Anybody still, living with systemic racism could tell you that. And then there will be the people that argue that there is no such thing. And it's like, oh yeah? Well, if your family had any amount of anything to hand down to, to future generations, realize that there are people out there that don't have that because of the racism that came before. And that is what systemic means, is things were set up systemically to disadvantage certain peoples. Whew, that's freaking hot. This glove is just not happy with me. I have to switch to another glove and burn through it too. And yet, as soon as, I wonder what this stuff's made of. Because this angle iron, I mean, it had a surface rust on it, but it holds heat so well, or it takes a lot of heat, I should say, and yet doesn't stay red hot even while it's still burning my freaking hands. And it's hard. It's hard when it's not, when it's not red hot. Young people suck. They need to listen to old people. Some old people. Some old people talk out of a specific orifice that never should be talking. Yes, Eric, I didn't say all people had that. And honestly, we don't need to argue about it. I'm in the same boat. Um, there's a half of my family that definitely has stuff to pass down to their kids, and then there's my family, because some of my family decided to go a different way and then marry into a uh, uh, Appalachian kind of family. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, there's definitely that's systemic too, though, and it was systemic racism. Um, so I have Irish heritage, and that is systemic racism. The Irish were put down upon for the longest time. You can see it. It isn't just a black and white stupid device. It isn't just a black and white divide. It's literally a rich and poor divide. It always has been a rich and poor divide. It just became very convenient to divide the poor even further, so that they would be fighting each other instead of fighting um, those who had the power coupons, as Bo puts it. If you don't know Bo, then go look up Bo of the Fifth Column. So Eric, we won't argue. We'll probably be right aligned. So you're absolutely right. That's why I don't put down the younger generation. I help to lift them up, because we've always been putting down the younger generation for millennia. The younger generation doesn't have anything wrong. They just have a different situation that they came up in, and then we want to project onto them. Yes, absolutely, Eric. Culture and class, but the class divide used to be very distinct. It was landowners versus non-landowners, and landowners would grant other people some partition of their land as a boon, but they were very selective about who they would do that with. Yeah, history, man. There's a lot more going on there than I really understood as a kid. You just saw what I did. This has been buckling up on me, and I need to have it flat so I can work it. So all I did was take it over the edge here and give it a little tap down, and that forms the corners down, and then I can push back up from there. And by the way, folks, Garrett is well, I'd like to really think of him as a dear friend. He is an amazing human being that I had the real distinct pleasure of performing with doing a bunch of Gilbert and Sullivan stuff. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I'll tell you what, it was a whole hell of a lot of fun. And he's a sharp-ass cookie with a punny attitude. I know I would be able to not burn my glove as easily if I had more discrete heats on this thing, but I am trying to work quite a bit of material at one time. There we go. Back into the fire. This may be a two-weekend project after all. Would not have expected that. That's okay. I'm not in a hurry. I have 2 weekends, I think. What is today? 21st? Yep, I got another weekend. Oh, come on, Garrett. I am not. I fake it real good, though. Why would you want me to flip it over? Oh, to straighten it. Yeah, I know. But I don't want to straighten it, Ben. I needed it to actually have kind of feet, if you will, so that it would stay stable. What's his name? Yeah. Why you? They always say to punch up, but in this one case, Ben, in this one case. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, because we're getting close to where it's cutting through, so I'm going to go ahead and heat up a longer area and be annoyed by the fact that I can't grab it when I'm ready. I need to do something about that. All right. There's that. There's that son of mine. I thought he was going to be out here burning weeds, but I guess he might have had to, I mean, not burning weeds, burning boxes. But I'm guessing he had to babysit instead. Cuddle monster. Well, I don't know where I'm sleeping yet, Ben, so. All right. This is really going to melt the. Let's see if I can keep my fingers up and away from this. Hot, hot, hot. Even hot, hot, hot. All right. I should be taking my aiming shots, but I'm not. Because it's so freaking hot and I need to move fast before it's not hot. That's pretty darn close to done. Ah. Let's go ahead and put that back in the fire. Check the time. All right, 15 more minutes. Hopefully I got it cut out by then. Well, I'll be coming across from Indianapolis area in a minivan. So, hello, computer. No, 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 wrong way. Let's try that again. There you go. I'll be coming across from Indianapolis in a minivan, so I can either load it with something to set up when I get there, one of those Insta-tent things, or I can put buy an air mattress, assuming I can do that, and blow the air mattress up back there, and then sleep in air conditioning. Worst case scenario, but I'd rather not do that. The only reason I'd rather not do that, honestly, is it's not going to be an electric vehicle. We know this, which means that I'd be running an engine, and who knows if I'd be running it next to somebody else that doesn't need to be having those exhaust fumes. But yeah, I'm assuming it's hot in September in Ohio, but what do I know? To rent the Cuddle Monster? Yeah. Shorts weather. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, you're right. It'll be a kilt, Shane. Definitely a kilt. Thanks for the reminder. Got to pack my kilts. Okay. This is such a big area. Oh, on the ground. That's what I get for not giving it feet. Let's give it some feet. All right. And that fast, it bumps right back up again. All right. How are we doing there? Come on. All right. Scrolling back. You guys have been talking good now. Disposable tents are the best. Ben, is Jack bringing you in his luggage? I'm telling you, if Ben wants to make his way over here and just, you know, get in a steamer trunk, we'll get that loaded up. I mean, I've got dog crates too. So, and I'm talking big dog crates. You know, just put him under with the other, um, animals, and you know, he'll be fine. Would it be a pup tent? All right. Let's see if we can get this cut through without marking my anvil. Really don't want to have my anvil. Yep, we're doing it. And hopefully not marking my anvil, because that's going straight through. Let's see how good Steel's anvil is, shall we? All right, we've torn that one all the way across. Look at that. That's now a piece of scrap steel that I will keep about. We'll do the same thing to the other side. We might get this thing cut off before the end of the show after all. In the meantime, we can take a look and see how badly I scarred my anvil face. Whew, that's hot. No scars. Yay! There's more scars everywhere else on there than was from that. Thanks, Garrett. Steamer trunk. Yeah, there you go. A steam bath trunk. A little soggy. I thought that was called juicy. Or au jus, au jus. All right. There's that piece of scrap steel. I'll turn that into something later. Don't know what yet. That's enough material to do something with. I'm really tempted to spark test this stuff just because I have no idea what it's made of. It has to be mild steel, right? They wouldn't make angle iron out of something that's not mild steel, right? All right, put that over here into the scrap pile. Let's cut this next one off. First things first, give it a little tappity tap. All right, let's see if we can park this one. Pretty close. Yep, there we go. The goal is not to strike so hard as to hit the anvil, but just to push the pieces of metal apart and rip it. So if I'm feeling something solid underneath it, I'm probably too far and I'm not hitting it very hard. Sort of the same feeling, I think, as when I'm punching. There we go. Continue that rip. Here it is. There we go. Onto the ground. We'll clean that up in a minute. I did leave just a little bit of that hole there, so I'll have to do something about that. But that's off. Got a little rag to clean up there. But that's what I call done for this session. There we go. And I'm going to do this. Not that it needs it, but I'm just going to leave it right here in the forge as it's hot metal and it's out of the way there. Pick this up. And then give it a quench. Throw it into the scrap pile. That was a lot of fun. A lot more, a lot more time consuming than I expected it to be. I really thought this is a super simple project. It should take no time at all. And I got that impression. Oh, you stupid camera. There we go. I got that impression because the tip came off so quick and easy. And I didn't think about how hard it would be to try and chisel along what became the spine of the feather. But yeah, that's done today. That's good. No, scroll back. Yeah, that's what I figured. The angle's probably mild. All right. But I tell you, it handled heat differently than any of the other mild steel I've had, and it's probably because basically I created myself a piece of plate, and everything else I've worked with have been rod or flat stock or anything like that, and I haven't had to do a whole lot of chiseling over that before. But you're saying that there are different alloys, huh? You should do that, Shane. And then you wouldn't. Then you'd be able to bring more beer too. Broke some yesterday trying to bend it. Bend it cold. Okay, got it. More steel than iron. Yeah, I could do that. I really need to make myself a swedge block. I watched um, John Switzer make his feathers, and he had a swedge block for ensuring that the vane had the right shape when it was all said and done, a nice rounded shape. I don't have that, so I'm going to basically just be hand doing it. So it's not going to look quite as polished as a real feather would be, but I don't care. I just want to have something that closely approximate a feather, and we'll enjoy it from there. That's a good idea, Eric. I need to actually, form up some hardy shanks and then do some welding projects for various things like that. Um, so let me switch back and zoom in. It's not like the anvil got away completely unscarred. I did pretty well though. I'm very proud of myself here. So we'll go here, and we will zoom into the face. You can tell where I was working, right? You can tell in here that there are areas that were cut marks, but none of that is serious. None of those scars are serious. Those aren't really scars. They're more like, you know, areas I polished the metal off where I was working over in a fine placement, with the chisel. Um, there are other scars I see here. I'm not sure. They're tiny little things that have no real impact on anything, and you can see them all over the face of this thing at this point. Um, and I don't have a clue how that happened. I didn't. I've always tried to be careful not to do too much in the way of cutting on the face of this anvil, but there you have it. Probably, I don't know. I honestly don't know because they're really all over this thing. And like I said, I don't do a whole lot of cutting on the face of the anvil. Here, everything you see here, they're not even indentions. I can feel it. And man, that's hot. Wow, that's hot. But yeah, I've just never worked with plate, I think, and that's really what it boils down to. Um, Plate puts off some heat, man. So I'll have to dress this up. Um, I'll do that right after I end the show here. Just put her in the vise and put some bevels on the end again and get rid of that mushrooming. Honestly, they could stay on there just fine. They're not rolled over too much. So part of me says don't bother. I don't know. I'll think about it. But anyway, we're now 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Yeah, we're going to be about 5 minutes after the hour. I mean, after the stopping point. That means that we should stop now. Yeah, a lot of surface area to give off heat. That's absolutely right. Really, you guys have all made, both of you guys have made plates hooked to hardy shanks just that goes over the top of your handle. It's not a horrible idea. I like the idea. I do. Um, I mean, this chisel, it's not intended to stay sharp. It's supposed to be a parting chisel, right? I'll probably sharpen it up again just so I can have a little bit of fine line work when I'm doing line work. But it's in good shape. It's still straight. It still has most of an edge on it, so I'm not upset by it at all. I do quench the chisel, but honestly, that's more just so um, I'm not continuing to keep it hot the whole time through. So I don't expect it to be a hardened piece. It is made of coil spring, but it isn't meant to be a hardened piece so much as, it's supposed to be tougher than the metal I'm going through. And it's a hot cut, so it's going through hot metal the whole time. Most of the time. I mean, I'll work it into the black a little bit, but not too much, right? So it still just needs to be tougher than the metal I'm working. So, all right, folks, that's going to be it for me. We'll have more conversation next week. I always enjoy the conversation. You know that. So, hope to see y'all here next week. And until then, love and light.